15 forgotten American desserts that vanished from menus. Remember when restaurant dessert menus offered more than just cheesecake and ice cream? There used to be elaborate creations that required real skill. Flaming desserts wheeled to your table, towering parfaits in fancy glasses, and old-fashioned treats that took hours to prepare. These sweet masterpieces were the grand finale of every dining experience, impressing guests and ending meals on a high note, until simpler options and faster service made them vanish from menus forever. Let's take a trip back to when desserts were an art form and explore 15 forgotten American desserts that disappeared from restaurant tables. The flaming spectacles. Nothing transformed restaurant dining quite like desserts on fire. Controlled pyrotechnics that turned sweet endings into memorable theater. Tableside flames that made ordinary nights feel special. These weren't just desserts. They were edible entertainment. Culinary drama that required skilled performers. Restaurant spectacle that eliminated the line between dining and theater. 1. Cherry's Jubilee dominated 1950s to 1970s fine dining through tableside flambe mastery. Alcohol ignition technique that created dining theater through controlled fire. Skilled waitstaff wheeled carts to tables. Performed cooking magic before amazed guests. Made ordinary dessert into unforgettable event. Required specialized training for safe alcohol ignition. Equipment that turned servers into performers. Insurance that covered open flame service. Signature dish at upscale establishments seeking memorable conclusions. 2. Bananas Foster spread from New Orleans to nationwide fine dining establishments. Tableside caramelization combined with rum flambe for maximum drama. Brought Southern sophistication to restaurants across America. Required skilled servers who could cook and entertain simultaneously. Sugar caramelization over open flame. Banana timing that prevented mushiness. Rum ignition that created spectacular flames. Vanilla ice cream finale that completed the performance. 3. Baked Alaska represented 1960s to 1980s engineering marvel. Temperature contrast technique creating hot exterior with frozen interior. Demonstrated restaurants' technical sophistication through pastry skills. Ice cream base. Meringue coating. Torch finishing that required precision timing. Showpiece dessert that impressed through scientific impossibility. Hot and cold coexisting in single presentation. Torch expertise that separated skilled establishment from amateurs. But safety concerns eliminated the magic. Liability insurance costs skyrocketed with fire service. Worker compensation claims from burn injuries ended tableside cooking. Fire safety regulations made open flames legally dangerous. Inexperienced staff couldn't master flame techniques safely. Modern restaurants avoid theatrical elements completely. Simplified versions lack original spectacle. Pre-made alternatives eliminate performance artistry. Today's dessert menus emphasize safety over excitement. Predictable satisfaction over memorable theater. But they've never replicated the anticipation of watching flames dance over fruit. When sugar became pyrotechnic art, the towering achievements. Restaurant desserts reached for the sky through architectural presentations. Elegant glassware that transformed simple sweets into sophisticated experiences. Vertical construction that impressed through height and layering. These weren't just desserts. They were edible sculptures. Sweet engineering that demonstrated restaurant sophistication. Dining elegance through specialized presentation. 4. Parfait glasses dominated 1950s to 1970s fine dining through layered visual perfection. Multiple flavors and textures showcased in tall, elegant glassware. Visual layering technique that made dessert consumption feel European-inspired. Sophisticated presentation that elevated ordinary ingredients. Required specialized stemware that cost more than regular dishes. Careful assembly that prevented layer mixing. Presentation training for servers who carried delicate constructions. Dishwashing protocols that prevented expensive breakage. Made simple ice cream and fruit seem like culinary artistry. Each layer told flavor story through visual progression. Guests ate with small spoons to preserve architectural integrity. Dining became performance through careful consumption. 5. Coupe glasses ice cream represented French presentation elegance. Wide, shallow glasses with elaborate garnishes that elevated simple ice cream to fine dining status. European service traditions that demonstrated restaurant sophistication through specialized stemware. Single scoops became artistic presentations. Garnish arrangements that required pastry training. Stemware that made ice cream consumption ceremonial. Formal dessert service protocols that separated upscale establishments from casual dining. Required trained staff who understood proper coupe service. Glassware inventory that doubled dishwashing complexity. Garnish preparation that added labor costs without increasing portion size. The innovation was presentation elevation, making ordinary desserts extraordinary through glassware sophistication. Visual impact that justified premium pricing. Elegant service that made customers feel special. But practicality defeated elegance. Casual dining trends eliminated formal dessert service protocols. Glassware costs and washing complexity made simple bowls more economical. Breakage replacement became ongoing expense that hurt profit margins. Modern parfaits use disposable cups that eliminate elegance completely. Fine dining occasionally features coupe service, but mainstream adoption ended forever. Today's dessert presentation emphasizes efficiency over elegance. Disposable convenience over specialized glassware. But restaurants never replicated the sophistication of architectural dessert construction. When hype meant class, the old-fashioned classics. American restaurants once honored culinary heritage through traditional dessert mastery. Sweet connections to the past that required genuine skill. Old-world techniques adapted for new-world palates. These weren't just desserts. They were edible history. Culinary traditions that linked diners to their ancestry. Restaurant sophistication through classical preparation. 6. Charlotte Russe dominated 1940s to 1960s fine dining through molded dessert perfection. Ladyfingers and Bavarian cream combination that demonstrated European technique mastery. Complex assembly requiring skilled pastry chefs with traditional training. Advanced preparation that tested kitchen planning abilities. Required specialized ring molds that most restaurants lacked. Ladyfinger arrangement that demanded geometric precision. Bavarian cream technique that separated trained pastry chefs from amateur cooks. Unmolding process that could destroy hours of careful work. Represented culinary sophistication beyond simple cake service. Connected American restaurants to European pastry traditions. Impressed guests through technical achievement rather than flashy presentation. 7. Floating Island brought French elegance to American establishments. Delicate meringue floating on custard sauce that showcased pastry chef technical mastery. Required perfect meringue technique without overbeating. Precise custard preparation without curdling disasters. Two separate preparations that had to unite harmoniously. Meringue poaching that demanded careful temperature control. Custard consistency that required constant attention. Presentation timing that prevented meringue deflation. 8. Syllabub connected diners to colonial American heritage. Wine and cream combination creating frothy, alcoholic dessert that survived into 1950s traditional restaurants. Simple ingredients requiring specific technique for proper texture achievement. The innovation was heritage preservation, maintaining traditional techniques when modernization pressured simplification. Culinary education through classical preparation methods. But convenience culture eliminated complexity. Pre-made desserts offered predictable results without skilled labor requirements. Few pastry chefs mastered traditional molding techniques anymore. Culinary schools emphasized modern methods over classical foundations. Technical difficulty made consistent execution challenging across multiple locations. Wine-based desserts seemed old-fashioned compared to chocolate alternatives that pleased broader audiences. Today's dessert menus rarely feature traditional preparations that require genuine pastry skills. historical curiosities that food historians occasionally recreate. But mainstream restaurants abandoned the classical techniques that once defined sophisticated dessert service. The molded marvels. Restaurant pastry chefs once created edible sculptures through gelatin mastery, geometric perfection that impressed through shape alone. Molded desserts that transformed simple ingredients into architectural wonders. These weren't just sweets. They were edible geometry, pastry engineering that demonstrated technical precision, scientific cooking through controlled setting techniques. 9. Bavarian cream molds dominated 1950s to 1970s sophisticated dessert presentations. Gelatin setting technique creating smooth, elegant molded perfection. European methods that elevated restaurant dessert standards beyond simple plating. Demonstrated pastry chef artistry through flawless execution. Required specialized metal molds that cost more than standard baking equipment. Precise timing for perfect gelatin consistency. Temperature control that prevented setting disasters. Unmolding technique that could destroy hours of careful preparation instantly. Created smooth, elegant presentations that impressed through geometric perfection. Professional appearance that separated skilled establishments from amateur operations. Made simple cream mixture seem like culinary achievement through presentation mastery. 10. Aspic fruit desserts represented 1960s scientific cooking advancement. Clear gelatin suspension showcasing artistic fruit arrangements. Transparent presentations that demonstrated modernist technique mastery. Visual stunning effects through suspension engineering. Required clear gelatin preparation without cloudiness. Fruit arrangement that created artistic patterns within transparent medium. Setting technique that prevented fruit displacement during jellification process. Perfect clarity that revealed pastry chef technical competence. Made ordinary fruit combinations seem sophisticated through scientific presentation. Connected restaurants to modernist cooking movements. Demonstrated access to specialized ingredients and advanced techniques. The innovation was geometric sophistication, transforming irregular ingredients into perfect shapes, creating visual impact through scientific precision rather than elaborate decoration. But practicality eliminated artistry. Individual plated desserts replaced shared molded presentations that required advanced planning. Molding skills became rare as pastry education simplified toward efficiency. Few restaurants maintained specialized mold inventories for occasional use. Modern molecular gastronomy echoes similar techniques, but with different execution methods. Occasional fine dining features geometric presentations, but mass market appeal disappeared completely. Today's dessert presentation emphasizes individual portions over architectural achievement, simple execution over technical mastery. But restaurants never recaptured the geometric precision that made molded desserts memorable. When shape was sophistication, the elaborate constructions. Restaurant pastry chefs once assembled dessert masterpieces requiring multiple components. Complex creations that showcased every culinary skill simultaneously. Multi-element constructions that impressed through sheer ambition. These weren't just desserts. They were edible symphonies. Pastry orchestrations that required conductor-level coordination. Sweet architecture through component mastery. 11. Nestle Road pudding dominated Victorian-era fine dining through exotic ingredient sophistication. Chestnuts, candied fruits, and rum combination requiring seasonal specialty procurement. Demonstrated restaurants' access to imported luxuries that separated upscale establishments from ordinary dining. Required chestnut preparation during limited harvest seasons. Candied fruit sourcing from specialty suppliers at premium costs. Rum selection that complemented delicate nut flavors. Assembly timing that prevented component separation. Expensive ingredients that justified premium dessert pricing. Labor-intensive preparation that required advanced planning. Seasonal availability that limited menu placement to specific months. Made ordinary pudding seem luxurious through ingredient sophistication. 12. Trifle brought British tradition to American fine dining establishments. Multiple component assembly showcasing cake, custard, fruit, and cream preparation separately. Required pastry chefs who mastered every fundamental technique individually. Layered construction that told flavor story through vertical progression. Sponge cake base requiring perfect texture for absorption. Custard preparation without curdling disasters. Fresh fruit selection that maintained structural integrity. Whipped cream finishing that completed architectural presentation. Labor-intensive assembly made cost control difficult across multiple restaurant locations. Family-style, shared presentations conflicted with individual portion preferences. Required advanced preparation that complicated kitchen scheduling. The innovation was component mastery, demonstrating every pastry skill within single dessert presentation, creating impressive results through ambitious assembly rather than single technique perfection. But simplification defeated complexity. Individual desserts replaced family-style, shared presentations that required large-scale preparation. Labor costs made multi-component assembly economically impractical. Specialized ingredient sourcing became unreliable for consistent menu placement. Modern dessert menus emphasize single-component perfection over elaborate construction. Simplified preparation over technical demonstration. But restaurants never recaptured the ambitious spirit of desserts that required mastering everything. When complexity was sophistication. The tableside theater. Restaurant dining reached theatrical peaks through live dessert preparation. Skilled servers who cooked before amazed guests. Tableside performances that transformed meals into entertainment. This wasn't just dessert service. It was edible theater. Culinary drama that required performers mastering both cooking and showmanship. Sweet spectacle through live demonstration. 13. Zabolioni demanded tableside preparation with immediate service requirements. Italian custard requiring constant whisking over heat with precise timing mastery. Egg yolk and wine combination creating light, airy perfection through technique alone. Demonstrated chefs' technical skill through live cooking performance. Required copper bowl heating over portable flame units. Constant whisking motion that prevented curdling disasters. Wine temperature control that affected final texture dramatically. Immediate service before deflation ruined presentation completely. Performance cooking that impressed through visible technique mastery. Guests watched skilled preparation that revealed culinary secrets. Made simple ingredients seem magical through expert execution. Connected diners to authentic Italian cooking traditions. Created intimate dining atmosphere through personal attention. Server chef who performed exclusively for individual tables. Made ordinary evening feel special through individualized preparation. Justified premium pricing through entertainment value addition. But practicality eliminated performance artistry. Liability concerns ended tableside cooking demonstrations that involved open flames. Technical difficulty made consistent execution challenging across multiple staff members. Immediate service requirements complicated kitchen timing coordination. Few servers mastered both cooking technique and table service simultaneously. Training costs made specialized performers economically impractical. Modern food safety regulations discouraged live cooking near guests. Today's Zabolioni appears pre-made from kitchen preparation without tableside drama. Survives only in authentic Italian restaurants with trained pastry staff willing to maintain traditional service. Mainstream restaurants abandon performance cooking completely. Modern dessert service emphasizes efficiency over entertainment. Kitchen preparation over tableside theater. But restaurants never replicated the intimate connection created through live cooking demonstrations. When servers became performers and dessert became drama. The French finale. Restaurant sophistication reached its peak through French dessert mastery. Crepe artistry that required both cooking skill and theatrical presentation. Tableside preparation that transformed simple ingredients into memorable experiences. This wasn't just dessert service. It was culinary performance art. French technique brought to American tables through skilled demonstration. Sweet sophistication through European tradition. 14. Crêpes Suzette represented the epitome of fine dining theater. French dessert requiring tableside preparation with orange liqueur flambé drama. Crêpe technique combined with sauce preparation that demanded complete mastery. Required skilled server who could cook, flame, and serve simultaneously without disasters. Delicate crêpe batter preparation that achieved perfect consistency. Orange butter sauce creation through tableside cooking technique. Grand Marnier flambe that created spectacular flames safely. Folding presentation that showcased proper French technique completely. Demonstrated restaurants' commitment to authentic French cuisine through traditional preparation methods. Made ordinary evenings special through elaborate service ritual. Connected American diners to European sophistication without overseas travel. Justified premium pricing through entertainment value and skill demonstration. Required specialized equipment, including portable burners and flambe pans. Server training that covered both cooking technique and fire safety protocols. Insurance coverage for open flame service near guests. Perfect timing coordination with main course completion. Created intimate dining atmosphere through personalized preparation attention. Made couples feel special through romantic flame presentation. Generated restaurant reputation for sophisticated European-style service standards. But modern practicality eliminated theatrical elements completely. Insurance costs for tableside cooking became prohibitively expensive. Fire safety regulations made open flame service legally problematic. Complex preparation required specialized staff training that most restaurants couldn't justify economically. Simplified kitchen preparation eliminated original tableside drama that made crêpes Suzette memorable. Pre-made versions lacked theatrical presentation that separated fine dining from casual service. Today's crêpe service emphasizes quick preparation over elaborate presentation. Kitchen efficiency over tableside drama. But restaurants never replicated the romantic sophistication of desserts prepared personally for each table. When French technique became American theater, the ultimate challenge. Restaurant pastry artistry reached its absolute pinnacle through the most demanding dessert ever created. Technical perfection that separated master chefs from pretenders. Timing so precise that failure meant complete disaster. This wasn't just dessert preparation. It was edible perfection. Pastry mastery that required years to achieve. Sweet achievement that few could accomplish consistently. 15. Soufflé Grand Marnier represented the ultimate pastry challenge. Perfect timing and technical execution that demanded advanced ordering coordination. Egg white leavening creating dramatic height through pure technique mastery. Light texture achievement that collapsed with slightest timing error. Required advanced ordering with precise, main course timing coordination. Oven temperature control that affected rise dramatically. Egg white beating to exact consistency without overbeating disasters. Folding technique that preserved air incorporation completely. Represented pinnacle of pastry chef artistry through technical achievement rather than ingredient luxury. Demonstrated restaurants' commitment to classical French technique mastery. Made simple ingredients seem magical through expert execution alone. Created anticipation through advanced ordering requirements that built excitement. Guests planned entire evening around soufflé, timing coordination. Made ordinary dinner feel special through dessert anticipation. Generated restaurant reputation for technical excellence. Required master pastry chefs who understood precise science behind soufflé success. Oven timing that coordinated perfectly with dining room service pace. Kitchen coordination that prevented disasters during busy service periods. But modern dining eliminated time-sensitive perfection. Casual dining trends eliminated advanced ordering requirements that seemed pretentious. Few pastry chefs mastered soufflé technique consistently across multiple preparation attempts. Time-sensitive preparation conflicted with efficient kitchen operations. These forgotten desserts represented more than sweet endings. They were edible theater, culinary artistry, the belief that meals should conclude with memorable experiences rather than convenient satisfaction. We gained consistency, lost spectacle, gained efficiency, lost the anticipation of watching flames dance over cherries, gained safety, lost the thrill of desserts that required courage to prepare. Modern dessert menus emphasize familiar comfort over elaborate artistry, simple execution over technical mastery, predictable satisfaction over memorable experiences. But they've never replicated the excitement of desserts that transformed dining into theater. When sugar became art,